Hey there, it's Derek from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and today we're taking a look at a 1992 Toyota Hiace. This one here, four-wheel drive, a diesel, and is going to be exported from Japan to the USA. So this one was bought from auction. This is the auction inspection sheet, which I'm going to go over in a second. So the seller writes some notes and the inspector writes some notes. Just going to go over the engine first, though. And so it's a cab over design, sort of cab over design. The engine is underneath where you sit, under the firewall here. And this is the battery box. I had that open because the batteries are dead. Due to something I'll explain in just a sec. So it's an inline 4-cylinder diesel. These are super reliable engines and very good. I haven't really had issues with them, especially the 2800. 2400 kind of have head gasket failures. 2800s have been fine in my opinion. Or from what I have seen, and we have seen plenty of them because they are super popular. I can clip this into place, but I'm going to leave it open for now because I got to readjust that. But what makes this one super special is you get a 5-speed manual there and the 4-wheel drive. And so 4-wheel drive with manual and diesel in a van chassis is super awesome. And not enough people understand the value of a good minivan, especially one that has this kind of approach angle. And so it's to take anywhere, power it with a diesel, excellent JDM van, and because of that they're super popular in the USA. But the manuals are really hard to come by for this generation, and so you kind of have to compromise on the conditions sometimes or pay an awful lot. This one here has a number of areas of rust which were mentioned on the auction sheet. So let's go over that first and foremost. So it's a 1992 Hiace wagon. I'm just going to translate all of this. Super custom 4-wheel drive, 2800cc diesel. This is an LH107, is the chassis number. Auction grade 3, which is fairly low auction grade, and mostly it's because of the corrosion on this one. Interior C, exterior D. 86,696 kilometers. 5-speed manual, dual AC, that's for the front and the back. Original 2-tone paint. 8 seats inside. Here are the sales points. It's a diesel car, 4-wheel drive, 1 owner, 86,696 kilometers. 5-speed manual on the floor, so it's not like a column shift, because some of the older Toyotas are column shift. Winter tires are inside the car, they're actually in the rear. I'll show you those in a sec. And then the report from the auction house. So the underside has some corrosion, interior has animal hair, which I didn't see anything to be concerned about, and there's no bad smell inside the car. Interior is dirty, steering wheel wear. Rear garnish is broken, I'll show you that when we walk around. Exterior, various scratches on it. And so here's the diagram, so you have some rust here. That's light rust on the front, light rust in the back, some pretty heavy corrosion in the back quarters here, and they show on the pillar here that there's corrosion, but I'll show you in a sec where that actually is. It's really right down here. So I'll show you in a second. Other than that, we got scratches on the front bumper, some pretty big ones, same thing on the back. But all in all, it's a pretty good vehicle. The interior is pretty nice. The rust is manageable, and I think that the price that you can get it for, considering those things, is pretty reasonable, especially with the 5-speed. Most of them are autos, and the 5-speed just gives it that little extra bit of specialness. And the engine is so nice and so responsive, unlike most modern diesel engines that feel a little bit sluggish to me. I really like the responsiveness. This and the Land Cruisers, really nice feeling Toyota diesel engines. Okay, so the 107 makes this one a standard low roof, short body. This is the smallest Hiace that they make, and they make, I think, 3 different lengths and 3 different heights. And then there are the pop top camping ones and the high roof camping ones, and then they make the Hiace truck. So there are a lot of different versions of the Hiace. I really like this one. It is kind of the simple version of the commuter version of it. The inside is nice. They do make some really nice luxury insides, but they don't come with a 5-speed. The other ones come with like a fridge inside, not like a camping fridge, like using the AC to cool down your drinks. They come with a hot water boiler, an intercom system, 5 sunroofs. Very cool. Okay, so let's take a look at conditions of this. So the front bumper, as was on the auction sheet, you got some big scratches there. That one they called an A3, which is a large scratch. And all of this is on the website if you're interested in knowing what it all means. That was an A2. You can see quite a few scratches. The vehicle is also quite dirty at the moment. As you can see, a typhoon came and dirtied all the vehicles. And so this one's going to the USA, where they have to have clean cars when they import them. So it's going to be cleaned, but the vehicle has to wait in a boat for several days getting over there, in which case it's going to get a bit dirty. This piece of trim isn't on properly. The rust on the front, they called it S1, is right here. It's been repaired, but you can still see where it was repaired. So you may have to watch out for that, and if it gets worse, re-repair it. Okay. Going around, you have some corrosion down here. And some corrosion down here. And nothing around here. And the underside, I got some pictures, but it's kind of hard to see because it's quite dark, and so when you receive the vehicle, please inspect it yourself for details on that. Lots of scratches there. Got a small crack right there. The rear garnish is this piece here, which is not tail light, but it's still kind of tail light. It's still plastic that looks like part of the tail lights, and the cracked section is right here. They also said S1 on the back, which is right here and right here. So when you buy the vehicles from the auction, you get to pick the condition of the vehicle by checking those auction sheets over. If you're looking for a non-rusty one, you can usually get one, but like I said, the 5-speed manual can be pretty hard to find sometimes. This section here also has some corrosion on the pinch seam, and the entire pinch seam along here has some corrosion too. So the body scratch and dent wise is generally really clean. I would say that it's pretty good aside from the bumpers and the corrosion. That's really the big target things. You can get these with the dual sunroof or the 4 sunroofs. This one here is the 0 sunroofs version of it. You can see the cars in our lot. If you have keen eyes, you can take a look at 1, 2, 3 of the soon-to-be inventory vehicles in there. They're coming up on the channel pretty soon. Okay, so you get the non-industrial but non-high-end interior of this. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. Power windows on it, power steering. Those both work really well. You get seats that handle the wear pretty well, and so right now the vehicle is 25 years old, still has seats that are in reasonable condition. And they stay like this for a long time. You do get sometimes this piping comes out, so watch out for that, but it looks like it has lots of life left in it. Steering wheel, very low amount of wear, and this is an authentic 86,703 kilometers at the time of shooting this. Nice simple gauges, AC works nice and strong. You also have rear AC and rear heater. You can select your 4-wheel drive on or off. Right now it's on. You can see the green 4-wheel drive mark because we were parking it up in the corner there, and you actually need 4-wheel drive to get up there, so we only park 4-wheel drive cars up there. High and low gear ranges so that you can really go off-roading if you want. 5-speed manual, and it feels so nice to shift it too. It's very, like, this is going to last a long time. This is robust. It's notching. It's a good feeling. Like, that's weird. Okay, a nice big area here. This is where the cool box goes and the other versions of it, and then this is where the hot water boiler goes and the ones for the make yourself some tea version. You get lots of headroom in it. It's generally pretty easy to get in and out of, but you sit up quite high, and so it gives you kind of a look down at everything view. The seat is above waist level, and so usually you would sit down lower in most vehicles, even minivans, like my personal minivan. Let's have a look at the back here. And so the thing about the batteries, it has dual batteries, which makes it really awesome, but the brake light switch was broken, and so it came in with the dead battery because the brake lights were on. You can see now they're not on because I did it with super ghetto fix. What it is there's a brake light switch right underneath the brake pedal. There's a little nib of black plastic that usually goes there, and it can get knocked off or broken off over time, and I've seen it a number of times on the Hiaces. So what I did is took a little piece of cardboard, slid it in there, put some tape on it, and then zip tied around, and so now it works, but it's only a ghetto fix, and so you need to get something to replace that little nib. And if you really want, you can use a hot glue gun and just glue a piece of rubber in there and it should be fine. It's basically just a pad that the switch goes on. The switch itself is not broken. Okay, so you get lots of AC vents up there so you can blow the air in any which way. There's actually a model that's very rare that comes with a TV that goes in there. I've only ever seen it like 3 times actually on that white one right over there. But that one's not going on the channel, sorry. This one has the 8-seater, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. Lots and lots of legroom. You can actually sit in this and place your feet all the way there stretched out. And I have abnormally long legs compared to most people, and I can barely touch the seat up there. And I'm sitting full back in the seat. So tons and tons of room. You also get your own controls down here for the rear heat and all of that. Super ghetto cup holders. The other versions of it come with different styles of seats. There are a number of different ones. The white one that's over there is the best ones. It has a big console here, and they spin around actually. I don't think these ones do. Yeah, these ones don't spin around. Getting into the back is pretty easy, and you get lots of room. Right now the back is pushed as far forward as you can so that you can get lots of room in the trunk, which means limited leg room here, but you can slide this forward if you want, and you'll get a ton of leg room. Or you can slide this one back and you get a ton of leg room, but then it compromises your back room. And then the auction sheet said it came with some winter tires. It is true. They are not joking. This is something that annoys me though. You push the seat back into position and it's not lined up with the other ones, and so Mr. OCD Derek is not happy with that. I like seats that will go back into the original setting that it was originally in without having to do any more pushing things around. Okay, so you get a nice mirror here that if you look from the front mirror into this mirror, you can see how far your back bumper is away from things. Open up the trunk. This one comes with a set of winter tires, which you can have if you want, and you can ship if you want, but usually the cost of shipping is really expensive. You can't ship them inside the car, and you have to take the tires off the wheels if you want to ship them. And if you take the tires off the wheels and then ship the tires, it will cost you more to do that than the tires are worth. So usually we just leave them in the car and then the port will throw them out. But it gives you a good idea of how much room there is in here. You can put 4 tires laying down. You can put probably 12 tires in there if you want. And then anyone who's tried to transport tires knows that tires take up more space than you think that they do when you put them in the car. And so lots of room. You can fit like more than 12 kids in the back if you wanted to use this as kid transport illegally. Which I don't recommend. Okay, and fog lights in the right in the headlights. That's really cool. I love the yellow fog lights, and it looks really cool. And these are just awesome vehicles in the USA because nobody knows about them, and they make a nice grunty diesel sound, and they're cool, super cool. Highly recommend these. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.